Thank you for finding some time for yourself. And you can indulge in the available oxygen now by breathing in and a relaxing breath out. And I wonder if you can enjoy the relief of closing your eyes as you begin to experience this experience. And I'm curious if you can be aware of the chair supporting you to orient your attention to your internal world. Little by little, moment by moment, into this pleasant state some refer to as existence. And I want to thank you for existing here. The world is a better place just by you being in it. And someone wise once said, God has a sense of humor, doesn't he? And while you're here existing, I wonder if the right or left side of you feels more relaxed. Face relaxed, neck relaxing, shoulders, chest relaxing, tummy, legs, feet relaxed. From the top of your head to the tips of your toes. And you just might find your thoughts slowly, ever so slowly, calming down. Little by little, moment by moment. And isn't it wonderful to know the mind can clear, the spinning or twisting of thoughts so slowly. And what some people love about hypnosis is the time away from life's chores, demands, a short vacation away from tasks. And what an experience it can be to have the mind this clear. And I wonder if it's like the waves calming after a storm, or the clouds parting on a winter's day, or something else. And I don't know the last time someone praised your exceptional attention to detail, your high elite standard of perfection. And I also don't know the last time Someone reminded you how healthy you are. Your body's ability to defy healing boundary, speedy recovery, and no one else has your wisdom, your life experience, and there will never be anyone exactly like you until the end of time. That's how special you are. And maybe in the past you've felt deep at the bottom of the ocean, the pressure, the force of relentless pressure, or had your body and soul expand to new depths, wave after wave of heavy force, or something else. Or maybe at the very bottom of the sea, you've been unable to breathe, knowing you could breathe, because you always found a way to stay calm. Or maybe you felt so distant, or under some zombie spell, falling into cheap human arms for sale. The relentless pressure to find some relief. Or maybe it's something else. But it's got nothing to do with you. There's a process to it. And in a moment, I'm going to share with you a story. And at first you might think, why am I sharing with you these stories? But you just might find it of value a little later on. And it was Joe Dispenza, who was a successful chiropractor in LA. And he was riding a bicycle in a triathlon. And he didn't realize cars were on the road. And as soon as he had turned a corner, a four-wheel drive ate him and his bicycle. In fact, he broke his thoracic spine. And doctors suggested Harrington rod surgery. Steel rods in his spine. He even saw the glamorous doctors. Maybe you know the type. Heads of hospitals, very fit, very polished, handsome. But when Joe Dispenza asked about the lack of mobility he would lose in the thoracic spine, one of the doctors replied, "There's no mobility in the thoracic spine." But Joe is a martial artist, and he knew from yoga and martial arts he had mobility in his thoracic spine, and a surgeon gave him some advice. He said you have about 48 hours before the bones will heal in the broken shape they are in. You need to make up your mind. And Joe felt he was young enough to enjoy rolling the dice of life. He decided to check out of the hospital, go home, lay face down and perform self-hypnosis for 6 months. Of course, the doctors said he was crazy. He would need to wear a body cast for at least a year. But Joe had practiced hypnosis and knew that if he meditated on that area of his spine and suggested to his subconscious mind how to heal the broken bone fragments back together, he could influence the healing process. And he did. He would imagine the bones healing in great detail. And I guess chiropractors would know how to do that. And he would do that for hours every day, using the power of the imagination. And then he would imagine sitting up, being able to use the toilet by himself. And then he did. And it reminds me of Dr. Dabney Irwin. Over 100 of his patients had a speedy recovery from burns, and his patients would gain control over the healing process. And in 1959 it was discovered there are 2 parts to a burn: the burn itself, and then the secondary inflammatory response of the body producing swelling and pain. His first patient was in 1968 when he used hypnosis. It was an alcohol explosion and the man had 2nd-degree burns to his face. His eyebrows and eyelashes burnt off. And normally after 24 hours, those sorts of burns patients get a moon-shaped face. You can't even prod their eyes open. The body swells up the wound so much. But after a few days, patients can open their eyes, and about 6 weeks later, they're healed. But Dr. Dabney Irwin hypnotised the guy within 30 minutes of the incident and gave him the suggestion to be cool and comfortable. And even after a few hours, the patient didn't ask for an aspirin, and he could open his eyes completely. The patient knew he could be given morphine, but didn't request it. And there were none of the signs of the inflammation or moon-shaped face. The patient healed very easily and comfortably. And by the 14th day, there was only a tiny bit of pink just below one eyebrow. And he returned to work. And Dr. Irwin believed in a burn, the injury sends a message to the central nervous system that calls for a response or a reaction. But if you can get the patient within a few hours before the response is being released, you can block the response. Master NLP practitioner, psychologist and hypnotherapist Gordon Young whose mother was once very ill, and she was very concerned about the statistics her doctor had given her about her sickness. Gordon spent a lot of time undoing the information the doctor gave her. He explains to his mother, "If you just do what the doctor says, then those statistics are correct. But if you go above and beyond with your health, you change the statistic." And together they would do hypnosis to prepare and aid recovery. She would take vitamins and eat really healthy, and she recovered quickly. And everyone heals differently. Some heal with prayer. Some heal with meditation, diet or exercise. And what a relief it can be. From gas to liquid to solid, or solid to liquid to gas, or gas is gas, liquid is liquid, solid is solid. The Pascal or unit of pressure can be measured. And there's the original force and the second force that can be so much greater, 10 times the original force, and so much more than that. And it can also be so much less. There are many ways to increase or decrease pressure. So many shapes, so many states. And you have reduced your blood pressure, slowed down your heart rate, your breathing, without me asking that of you. That's how special you are. And what a wonderful feeling it is to be in complete control of this moment. The responsibility, your ability to choose to respond in so many ways. And won't it be wonderful in the future to have an additional elite regime of care, self-care, caring for yourself in so many different ways. And when you're ready to return back to your waking state, you can begin to create the right state of mind, of physical force, Now, I don't know if you want to set up yourself to win today. Feel energized, calm and relaxed, or full of compassion, empathy, and love for the world, for others, for yourself. But what I do know is you are living. You occupy space. You have a mass. You matter. And you can take a few pressurized breaths at whatever pace you choose. Stretch out and expand, and open your eyes. Welcome back. You're perfect, just as you are.